Hello guys, Brad here again with another fragrance review. This is a review of a fragrance from the house of Atkinsons. This one is called Posh on the Green. And this is just a 2 ml sample that I got off of eBay. It's actually Chad from A Gentleman's Journey that brought this to my attention. He has the full-size bottle, and I remember he did a video with his wife and she seemed to like it. So I thought, okay, I'll give it a try, see what it's all about. Came out in 2014. Classified as an aromatic green fragrance, and the note breakdown: in the top we have petitgrain and coriander, middle notes of mint, galbanum, and rose geranium, and finally in the base we have vetiver and cedar. So this one, well, as the name implies, it is very green. You know, you get mint, petitgrain, geranium, vetiver, so yeah, very green. Also quite herbal as well. I believe the coriander perhaps gives it like a very prominent herbal touch as well. And I'm actually quite liking this one here. I've worn it just a couple of times so far. But yeah, I find it quite pleasant. It actually kind of has like this old school barbershop kind of vibe to my nose. I think this is easily a fragrance that could have been released back in the 80s. So if you like those old school type fragrances like Brut, Old Spice, stuff like that, I think this one is certainly one to look into as well. Perhaps a bit more of a modern interpretation. I noticed that this one doesn't have like lavender in it, doesn't have leather in it. A lot of these old school fragrances have those types of notes in them, and they can become quite old man-like or harsh smelling. But this one, it wears kind of light, and I find it quite refreshing as well. So if you're looking for something sort of minty, green, herbal, but you know, with still like sort of a classic feel to it, this one is certainly one you're going to want to try to check out. I think if you had a shelf in your fragrance collection that had like you know, even like Green Irish Tweed or Original Vetiver, Bowling Green from Jeffrey Bean, you know, stuff like that, those types of green fragrances, yeah, this one would certainly deserve a spot right alongside of those other ones. So I highly recommend checking this one out if you're a fan of green herbal type fragrances, but perhaps you're not a big fan of like lavender and leather, which often accompanies types of fragrances like this one. So let's go ahead and get into some final scores. The smell, I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. Surprisingly, even though I'm not really a big fan of old school barbershop type fragrances, this one, because of the way they just focus on the greens and the herbs, I think it makes it quite pleasant and certainly wearable in today's times. Projection longevity, though, is where this one probably has the worst scores. Maybe like 1 to 3 hours, and then it really becomes close to the skin. So let's say only 5 out of 10 for projection longevity. I notice a lot of reviewers are really you know, knocking their scores down on Posh on the Green because of its performance issues. Versatility, I'll give it 7.5 out of 10. Certainly could wear it year round, but spring, especially with the greens and the herbs, when it really seems to shine the most. Also summer, not so much fall and winter, but you could keep wearing it. If I had to come up with a vision of this fragrance, I picture a group of guys, maybe like in their 50s, playing golf back like in the early 30s or 40s, you know, wearing like their knickers and their beanie and their tweed jackets, going out golfing outside of London or something like that. It just kind of has that sort of posh feel to it, I guess you could say. Sort of like a golfing type fragrance, but in a very classic manner. Fragrance Net has bottles for $90.99 for the 100 ml. So certainly, if you do buy this one, please consider going the route of like Fragrance Net and don't pay more than about $100 for this one. But overall, for me, I'm going to say 7.5 out of 10. It's quite a pleasant fragrance for fans of the herbal and greens. I think this is my first experience with Atkinsons. I did order another one. It's the Old Bond Street, I think it's called Triple Extract or something like that. So we'll see how that goes down the line. But for now, yeah, this is a great start to my journey with Atkinsons. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.